Alright, this is over here. This is the end of the Ruthless Gold event for me. I just hit 90, so I'm not really gonna do much. Maybe play occasionally, just for fun, because this build is pretty fun. But at the same time, I've already hit what I needed to hit. I've got accomplished what I need to accomplish. And I'm just saying this build actually worked a lot better than I expected. So I did both the Uber and Eater quests recently and got the watchstones. So the only things I haven't really done are like other pinnacle bosses like Shaper. Pretty sure I could do Elder. I'm pretty sure I could do Sirius as well. I'm not sure about Maven, but by the looks of it, the damage seems good enough to be able to do these bosses well. I just need to have decent mechanics when I'm doing them. I built maps pretty well at 14s to 16s. And it can do like all the events, like it can do Delve, Temple, etc. One thing that is pretty nice about it is that despite being a Ruthless, it feels like a very zoomy character and has damage even though it is quite tanky. I won't say super tanky, it's not like a Bone Shatter Jug kind of tanky, but it is tanky enough to the point where it doesn't feel like you have to run Cast and Death Portal like I see a couple other, most other players who are trying to get decent damage are doing. And these guys also don't get to 90 because they die too much. Wait, what? Where did you go? Is that a bug? What the hell? Wait, did he die? Oh, he died. Okay, that's weird. Cast speed. Okay, I guess that's not too bad for someone. Anyway, let's do another one then, because that was pretty fast. I'm not doing any on my T14s to T16s at the moment because all of them right now are witnessed, and I don't have any unique 14s to 16s that aren't witnessed. So it would just be a waste. So the good thing about this build is normally most builds I can do like high tiers are pretty slow. But this build can zoom around pretty quickly despite doing high tiers, so it is quite fun to play. It has about like 180 movement speed with Berserk and Flask up. Has phasing because of Scion. Scion Ranger Ascendancy. And about, oh wow, bleed. And about like 6 to 8 mil DPS depending on conditions. All in all, I'd say this is a pretty strong build, much better than I anticipated. I was originally planning to play Coldot and only transitioned to this because I found a Wrath Pit cheap. But that being said, now that I know that this build is quite accomplishable on Ruthless pretty easily, I think this is actually a very strong league starter for next league, as long as like the main components are nerfed. So stuff like Wrath Pit, Dissolution, Calm Spirit, etc. Wait, what? Okay. Got another Elva, nice. No maps though. Had really bad luck with the maps, but at least was lucky on the master missions. I plan to get more Elvas just because with alphas I can put more temples, T16, and then I can get T16 maps off those temples. Okay, let me do one more. So you look at this, all my 16s, 14s, no 15s, but all of them are witness, so I can't really do them again, unfortunately. Let's do another orchard. I've got 3 elbows right now for rids. That means I can do, what was it called? I can do, I think I have 1 T15 or 16 already done. Actually, I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that. Ouch. Buzzing's gonna run out. I would like to show off a T14 to 16 map. Unfortunately, I don't have one. Should have made a video earlier when I was leveling. Alright. So in all, I just want to briefly cover a few core mechanics of the build, what allows it to work, what it scales off, and how it can be accomplished pretty easily in a non-ruthless setup, or non-ruthless setting. So in this instance, what I'm doing here is I'm scaling a lot of gem levels of the boots, so March of Legion gives +9 to Icicle Mine. I double corrupted this myself on Ruthless, so I did a lot of temples and I bought a lot of March of Legions to corrupt. So I got +4 on my only double corrupt, by the way. Most of them poofed. I think I poofed about 8 or 9 of them, and this is the only one that survived. Well, there's another one that survived, like all white sockets, but yeah, the only one that had a double corrupt somehow managed to get +2 AoE and +2 travel mine, and this gives me +9 levels from the item, so the March of Legion. So my Icicle Mine is at level 29. I could also get it at level 30 through +1 on the skill on my wand, but this one is actually more damage than most other +1 ones I've seen, so I'm just using this at the moment. The other thing as well is I plan to corrupt and get a 21 Icicle Mine. I have done that to 7 gems already. Wait, it's 8 gems already. All of them failed. I have another 6 on the way. Hopefully those don't fail as well. And yeah, so it's on a 4 link, but because of the +9, it almost feels like it's on a 6 link chest with at least a +1 corruption. Right? That's what it feels like. Because +9 is insane for this. That also means I don't really need a lot of plus skill gems for the other sockets. So Wrathpit obviously doesn't have +1 gems, and then you can also get a amulet that doesn't need +2 gem, or a weapon that doesn't need a +2 gem. Yeah, so the scaling seems pretty clean here, and pretty easily available for league start in non-ruthless setups. What else is scaling damage? Hate Shiver is scaling damage because it does give 130% more damage on a frozen target. And obviously you're gonna freeze the target because your crit is like the crit for this build is like 100%. Yeah. So yeah, so 130% more damage as fire. So you have almost half your damage as cold, the other half damage as fire. Then you also have a lot of damage scaling coming from Berserk. So in this case, I have permanent Berserk. In fact, my Berserk uptime is, I have 30 seconds of Berserk uptime, and then 5 seconds where it's on cooldown. So my Berserk is up almost 80% of the time, 85% of the time. And the Berserk I'm using here is Divergent Berserk with, I mean, although this is enhanced 2, I hopefully get it to 3 and then corrupted to get a 4. But like this will have about 9% more spell damage, and then also 30% more movement speed and 20% or 90% less damage taken right on the Divergent Berserk. So with the permanent Berserk up, it gives me a lot of mobility, it gives me more EHP, and then it also gives me more spell damage, right? So this is where my mobility is coming from, this glove and the Divergent Berserk. Also because it's Scion, you can allocate Saboteur Ascendancy, which gives you 2% of life per second for each mine detonated recently, so you can get 10% life per second. That regen, 10% life regen per second, it gets turned into rage, and then basically you have like, let me show you. The amount of rage regen is so high that it's actually just dealing with all the degen coming from Berserk, and I can do this for 30 seconds right straight. So yeah, it's pretty insane, the amount of regen here. Anyway, I'm using Replica at Ziri's Foible because one, it takes pressure off me needing to have strength, so I only need 150 strength to run the calms, and then also it takes pressure off like other stats as well. It gives you 120 to maximum life, 2.2% life regen per second, which gets turned to rage, and 30% increased life regeneration rate boosts rage gain by about 30% as well. Okay, Snake Pit, you can put it on the right ring slot to get chain +1, but in this case I've gone for Fog because Fog's, I think, a much better clearing mechanic. So I have Fog on my spells. So Snake Pit is needed for clear, and then I have a Lori's Lantern here for movement speed, resistances, and unlucky damage incoming. Yeah. So you can tell a lot of these items are pretty easily available to any league start on non-Ruthless in the first week or so, first 4 days. I think you can get all these items. You might have to pay out the nose for some of them, but the Martial Legion I don't think is particularly expensive. Wrathwith maybe a little expensive. Calm Spirit maybe also be a little expensive, but by day 3 this should be like 6 chaos. This should be like 3 or 4 chaos. Maybe only the Calm Tower will be like super expensive. Heat Shield we can get it day 1 at like 2 or 3 chaos. Yeah. Well, I'm quite happy with the build, quite happy how it turned out. 100% if you have, I mean, I'll consider doing a league start for it. Maybe somewhere down the line if these mechanics still persist. I do have a league starter already planned for 3.21, but this will be one of those that I keep on the shelf as a backup just in case my primary build idea doesn't really work out. I'll briefly talk about my primary build idea maybe a week before, not really a week, maybe when patch notes come out, right? And then I kind of give a good idea whether or not it will work. But it looks pretty promising as well. I think about 2-3 mil damage on day 3. But yeah, this miner is insane. Okay, hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna close the video. This is, you can consider this the end of Ruthless for me. I have 107 out of 115 for map Atlas completion, and I have 2 Void Stones. I'm too lazy to do the other 2, but level 90, right? So why do I need the border? I've already got the event requirement for like the raffles on what the loot boxes. I don't know. Hopefully I get a price. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think there are a lot of level 90s around, so maybe like less than 50 of us. So there's a good chance of getting something. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. Peace. I'm out.